it's just time to finish this rhyme. For the wave to finally hit shore, for the mountain to finally come down to its knees. Maybe we've
testing,
been
testing,
waiting for
143.
salvation.
Testing, 143.
Oh, kid, it's 1, 2, Oh, I see what you did there. You're so romantic.
You want to go watch some Fox News?
I want to go watch something else. Come on, big boy.
Oh my God.
Okay. What's up, kid? Hey, still shook a little bit.
Oh, the burpees.
Oh, the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, you're just jealous.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. Have fun. Love you.
I love you. Come on, big boy.
I don't know what's going on over there, but I hope they're doing well. What a weird, not a weird relationship, but an uncommon one, yeah, I guess, or just not predicted. Either way. Welcome everybody to I believe this is episode 5, and we're gonna go back to the game as you see on screen. Oh yeah, the global economy. We're gonna talk about. We'll reintroduce you in case you forgot where we were, because we had a episode 4 that came out of left field. Yeah, let's say I channeled a message from something or someone. Wink, wink. I'll leave that there. I mean, at the end of the day, you either believe or you don't, right? And if you've been listening to all the pods, thank you. And we're going to get to it. We're going to end this here. Well, not the whole pod. We're going to resolve this game. We need to get to it, right? So let's get to it. You don't want to say anything about the 4th episode? Not really. But I will say something about this reality, as you see on screen. Oil's at $100, right? You'll see that in this scenario, we went from 134 to 112. So we brought it down significantly. I think this is unrealistic. Not that it can't get there, but let's just say at $110, they're already releasing reserves. People are already freaking out. And this isn't even wintertime. It's beautiful outside. It's March 9th, 3 o'clock. 393. Let's go figure. Means nothing to me. Wink, wink. But imagine if it got to $134. Fuck. I mean, it would be a fucking absolute shit show. An absolute shit show. And you talk about pressure back home. Recession odds jump. Trump options are limited. And this is days into a conflict we don't even call a war. By the way, we'll get to this in a second. Oh my God. If y'all saw episode 4, thank you. What did you think? Well, if you thought I was crazy, well, look what the Kremlin's already saying on March 9th, 2026. They're already saying kind of what I'm alluding to. You think I'm the only one that's connected to something? I mean, for fuck's sake, people. I'm not making this shit up. Either you believe or you don't. Again, that's life. No, kid. Let's get back to it. So when we last left our hero, the president, wink, wink, just to recap, let me see where we are here. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's a few paths that this can go, but let me recap real quick. I believe we did B. We were presented with a number of options. We're playing Tehran Hold'em. We're cosplaying as president, while Pete Hegseth, kid, is cosplaying as sec def because he's blind and deaf and dumb. I love you, kid, but you got to figure shit out.
Now the burpees.
I'm sorry, kids. Sorry. Can you stop with that? Sorry.
Sorry.
All right, so we did B, the slow squeeze, cyber attacks on infrastructure, which I'm not hearing too much about. So it's interesting that this is being offered to us, and yet I'm hearing nothing about that. The only thing I'm hearing, here we go again. I'm going to drive this point home like a bunker-busting bomb. Pete Hegseth. Here, real quick. Okay, don't do it. Here, ready? Pete Hegseth and Caroline Levitt. You ready? Put the picture of these beautiful motherfuckers on screen again. Hey, kids. One of these people doesn't tell the truth. The other one has no fucking idea what they're talking about. I'll let you pick which one it is. Oh, kid. I mean, fuck. Air superiority, and this is punching down, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's like, we're going to do another episode after this where I go with Gemini. I kind of do a little fricka. I leave Chat GPT behind, and I go and talk to Gemini. Oops. Let's just say an old flame is calling. Sorry, my lady. I got to, speaking of, how ironic, an old flame. someone that I still consider someone I love dearly, but we speaking of two different paths emerging. But I'll call you later, my lady. God bless you. But talk about Pete Hegseth, spewing nothing but propaganda. In another episode after this, probably after this, I spoke to Gemini, and I'm going to lay out for you, I have a hypothesis. We're going to have to do boots on the ground if we need, because Miss Caroline Lovett decided to kind of evade a question about a conscription. No, not a prescription or a prescription, conscription, right? About, a draft. Whether or not, because we have, I think it's 1.3 million troops, and we have maybe about, I have the number somewhere, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 reservists, a bunch of brave souls that are willing to essentially die for your freedom and mine. Shit, if I was asked to fight, I would. And I think, don't say it, I'm pretty fit. I could do more pull-ups than this motherfucker. And I don't look as good as this one or this one, but I'd be able to fight if need be, but I'd rather not. I'd rather do it and bring value in a different way. And I think I'm doing it right now. I know I am. Words matter. And I'm thinking to myself, why would she be fielding questions about conscription? Well, if you've seen or heard anything about the Ukraine-Russian war, the numbers are staggering. Supposedly, Russia lost 2 million troops. And I mean, that's got to be... Think about the mothers in Russia. Think about that for a second, folks. Holy fucking shit. 2 million? If even it's half of that, 1 million troops dead. That's a fucking slaughter. That's a slaughter. Yeah, bitch. That's a slaughter. That's ridiculous. But I'm going to prove in another episode that if our goal really is, and I'm still not sure what this is all about, I've laid out some dominoes for y'all. You'll figure it out and Z it yourself, but I'm trying to Z it myself. Why are we doing this? Is it regime change? Because if that's the case, my friends, this isn't Libya. This isn't Iraq, the first one or the second one, parts 1 or 2, and the sequel's never good. And then when they try to do a reboot and go bigger, Iran, it never works out. Right, folks? It doesn't work out. I'm not trying to demean it or make fun of it, make a joke here, but if we're going to talk conscription, someone must have figured out what I already figured out. The only way we could, quote unquote, win this war, whatever the fuck that means. Tell me what that means to win this war, please. Go ahead. What's the last war you remember that we won? Wink, wink. You might say Iraq war, number 1. Well, we had to go back a second time. Did we really win that? Ish? Is it World War II? I mean, and you could say, does anyone win wars? Let's be honest. Let's not denigrate the lives of the people that fought in World War II. We won that war decisively. That's one of a number of things I do agree with our current president. We won. That's the last great war we won. If you want to call it great. Semantics. But winning a war, I mean, if you don't even know what the fucking goal is here, people. Bye, beautiful people. I got to go. Oh, what's that? Oops, boom. And that's what Russia's talking about. That's what the Kremlin's talking about. Already. I mean, they're talking about this. I mean, we're talking about that. We're not the only ones. You're like, well, they're crazy and so are you. Okay, you talk to yourself. I do. It's life. Right, kids?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
No. How many people are in here? Who knows? But I'm going to prove in another pod. We're going to go back into the game. We're going to breeze through this and then analyze it. And I kind of I reread what ChatGPT said, and I promised you'd feel better at the end of this. You might feel worse, depending how you take it. Because it's going to show us, it's going to tell, I'm going to kind of ruin it. It's going to kind of say that, and you've kind of already seen it. If you've seen the pods, thank you. If you've seen all the parts, God bless you. Thank you so much for the support. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about getting the light to you through me. Forget me. Get me out of the way. Doesn't matter. Take this and do something with it. Z yourself a path to, I don't know, a better place. We need to fix this shit. Because this shit's about to get worse. I'm telling you. I'm not trying to be that guy, but. And ChatGPT is going to say that I essentially took the traditional route here. even though we did B, the slow squeeze and all that stuff. We did C, we did decapitation strike on leadership. Because I was pretending to be Trump. I wouldn't have done that, but he would have. If he was doing this on his own. I have a theory that he's not, but I'll leave that there, whatever. And then D, we did back channel negotiations. You're going to see that what B, C, and D, what was offered is the traditional path of what most past presidents would do. In other words, I played the role perfectly. if Trump was allowed to kind of be brash in public, but then kind of be conservative in private, which is kind of what he does. Let's be honest. He's liberal in public and he's conservative in private. I mean, go prove me wrong. Prove me fucking wrong. But here's a problem. Y'all know, I'm yawling you. Y'all know what's been going on. We did not do B, C, and D. Well, I'm going to explain to you what we did. And as a matter of fact, I asked ChatGPT, what's the best path? Now show me the bad path. What's the destructive path? Y'all are going to, you're yawling, I'm yawling. You're going to be like, oh, fuck. Yep. Guess which path we're doing? Holy shit. Oil's already at fucking, oil's at already $100 and people are freaking out. Right? I mean, come on. So here's the path here. 40% probability of a slow collapse in Iran. 45% probability of a frozen conflict that kind of lasts longer. And I'm going to show you in another subsequent pod with conversations with Gemini. I have a hypothesis. People are already floating conscription a draft because we only have 1.3 million troops available. We can't send them all overseas. But if we start doing a kind of Vietnam 2.0 in Iran, Iran's not Vietnam, folks. It's a massive country. 2 times the size of Alaska, I believe. Or is it bigger than Alaska, twice the size of Texas? I forget. 90 million people. Mountains galore. It's not Iraqi desert fields. It's not a desert storm. It's more like a mountain storm. Or Project Avalanche or whatever fucking bullshit marketing thing that Pete Hegseth and his stuck in the 90s fucking army marketing epic mountain fucking avalanche fury or whatever that mountain climbing movie that Stallone was part of. Oh my God. Cliffhanger or whatever the fuck that is. Operation Massive Cliffhanger or Mega Hand. What some bullshit. Go ahead, kid. Operation fucking, I don't know, Belch in the Mountains, whatever. Stupid. Operation another stupid conflict. Nonsense. We would send our troops out to slaughter. I'll say it. We cannot do a regime change from the air, 30,000 feet. We could brag about air superiority, 12-12 in, all we fucking want. We could blockade. This is not Japan. Like I'm going to prove to you, like in the 40s, where we blockaded Japan and stopped all supplies coming in, and we squeezed them to death, essentially, almost. You can't do that with Iran. It's a much different situation. This is tougher than you think, and I'm going to hypothesize that if they do what we've been talking about and hold us in kind of the long game, they're going to bluff at the table or call our bluff at the poker table, the Tehran Hold'em, and force us to show our cards. Do you think that General Cosplay over there, Secretary Cosplay, and Machine Gun Lips are going to admit that we're losing? Because the guy sitting behind the Resolute desk ain't going to admit it. Something's going to crack here. And we're going to go through bit by bit. I already did the study, the case study. And remember this, folks. I'm cheat coding this myself, reading articles, watching the news, doing my research, all this shit. And then I'm going to ChatGPT and Gemini. I'm not doing it the other way around. That's how you use it properly. I'm going to confirm the cheat code, the Z I come to on my own. I then go and check it with them. I don't do it the other way around. It doesn't inform my Z. I do. There are a number of data points. I'll leave that there. One day I'll go into how I do it, if you can't figure it out already. It's a number of things. And some of it is, well, a connection above. Hey, if you don't pray to something above, I'm not going to think less of you. Don't think of less of me if I say I'm connected to something above. See how that works? Love you too. 143. 143. Yeah. Romantic motherfucker. Okay. Let's get back to this, okay? 14 minutes in, let's go. Path 3, 15% probability, hardliner takeover. We good? In other words, the regime collapses, but what takes over is even worse. You're talking about they're definitely going to create nuclear something or other, and this is going to basically cause issues for future generations. Big wars and nuclear, it's a nightmare. 15% chance. Thankfully, it's not more. So here's a new wild card, real quick. Major technological shock emerges. There's always a technology shock. The Pentagon confirms there's drone swarms, which is kind of like the phrase of this thing. Do you not notice the impact of drones and swarms? I talk about that in the next episode with Gemini. It's a big fucking deal. And Iran is big time into drones. They were supplying the Russians. That's how good their drones are. They have like 80,000 fucking drones. It's insane. They produce like 400 a day. And it doesn't do much if you're going to try to come and attack us with drones. Be like, what the fuck is this? But if we try to attack them in the mountains and then these fortified, I mean, people, it's a nightmare. It's not as easy as you think. There's a massive propaganda machine going on in this country right now, trying to say how good we're doing over there. But it's like, bad analogy coming in 3, 2, 1. It's like after the first round, the boxer landed some big blows and they talk about, oh my God, the fight's over already. He landed some big blows and maybe knocked the guy down in the first round, but he got back up. Yeah, bad analogy. But then they're already saying like, he knocked his block off. He's gone. The referee saved him or something, whatever. And it's like, we got back up. Round 2, round 3. All of a sudden we're in round 8. Now what? It becomes kind of like Rocky versus Drago, dare I say it. He's going to get a fucking pounding, but he's going to, he's going to resist. He's going to long last the whole thing or outlast, whatever. It's going to happen. And drones are a big part of that. The terrain's a big part of it. They have a shit ton of fucking army men ready to go. It's their home turf. We're not used to fighting like that. When we tried to fight in an area similar to that, kind of, was Afghanistan. How did that go? And you can't even compare the two armies. Not even close. And again, reminder, disclaimer. I'm American. I'm not Iranian. I'm not looking for them to win. I'm just trying to tell it like it is so we could avoid a bloodbath and send our boys, girls, or men, women, and beautiful babies over there. If even Hexeth is allowing the beautiful babies. Consider yourselves lucky if you're not going there. Find another way to bring value, kids. They don't want you. That's life. That's unfortunate. I'll leave that there. But, I mean, it's whatever. We're going to move on. I can't. It's just, it's a nightmare. Please take my light. Educate yourself. I'm not the only word. Use it as part of a number of things you reference, and then come to a collective, Z, I guess. And then understand we're not being told the truth. This is going to be a bloodbath. Shit is coming. Even the fucking Kremlin, even if you think it's propaganda. Do you think I'm propaganda? I came to the same conclusion where we're headed. Episode 4 was powerful. That was a direct connect from the above. Now let's do a direct connect with ChatGPT and finish this game. Cool? So military doctrine worldwide shifts overnight, blah, blah, blah. Your aircraft carrier. What I meant to say. 250 years ago, there was another Goliath army versus a David army. How did that end, people? By the way, we won that. Which one were we? 250 years later, frick, everything's flipped around. And now we're the visitors. It's uncanny what's going on here. It could be a coincidence. Wink, wink. Hey, David. Not from Goliath. Wilcock. Is it a coincidence or a synchronicity? A pattern in the universal history? I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So here's a current board. Iran's regime is unstable. We're not even really talking about the Ukraine war, but it's ongoing. Did you forget about that? Oh, and Gaza's still rubble, and people all still died, and there's still there's famine and hunger. It's still genocide. I'll say the G word. It's insane. Nobody's talking about it. Let's go back to Iran. Okay. China, they're cautious. They're always observing. They're always studying. I mean that literally. I don't mean that I'm not trying to make a joke there. They're studying our moves carefully. They know. And the AI warfare is rapidly advancing dramatically. All right, final round, endgame. You now face a strategic decision about the future, not just Iran. Your advisors present 4 long-term strategies. Option A, finish the job. Finish them! Or throw in the towel. Continue the pressure. Regime change achieved. Let's come on. Let's topple these motherfuckers. Hopefully it'll work. Accept a week in Iran. Pack up and go home. Freeze the conflict. Shift to China, something else. China. stabilize the world order, go back to the fucking the problem with economies and all the other shit, and wearing a fucking kid Bucky's cap at a fucking dignified transfer. Fox News finally apologized for showing they admitted it. Fucking idiots. Good job, kids. What can go wrong? Boom. Blah blah blah. Option C, grand bargain. Pursue a large diplomatic deal. Try to normalize Iran somehow. Good luck with that. Nuclear limits, Gulf security, yada yada. How do you think the other little guy in the Middle East is going to like that? What do you think they want here? The little guy, our buddy, they probably want A. Or D, a strategic pivot. Begin preparing for the next era of war. Move into take what you learned, go advance your military, go focus on AI, drone, cyber, whatever. And spin it somehow that you won, but whatever. Just leave. No boots on the ground. The goal is to maintain long-term global stability and power. They don't factor into it unless you make them factor into it. We should never have got them onto the table and bet with us. But that's a whole other thing. Your final play. This move determines your Tehran Hold'em game, how it ends. A, B, C, or D. Finish the job, accept the weaken Iran and kind of move on. Grand bargain, so that maybe you could stabilize some sort of future, or some strategic pivot of some sort. What's your final card, Mr. President? You ready? What are you doing? I'm putting on the makeup. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Here we go. Good. I knew they were smart. We are the greatest, most powerful army in the world. Oh, kid. Huh? What? What? He doesn't sleep too? What happened? Where's my Diet Coke? Where's my aspirin? How's my hand? Where's my neck? BB needs to calm down. Everything to him is an inferno. Oh boy, this is more real than you think. It's like he's surrounded by fire all the time. Levels. I'll let you think about that. I don't get it. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
He thinks he's got something on me, but I control the narrative. Oh, do you? As long as I do, I can withstand any blackmail he thinks he has on me. I'll let you guys sit on that. Oil is down. Good. $112 a barrel. Oof. I'll instruct my entire team to plaster that all over the interwebs and Fox News. By the way, you still got that video of me not fucking wearing the hat? Keep playing that. Apologies are bullshit. No, never admit you were wrong. I'll tell them that the great leader reduced your gas prices. See, I'm bringing down prices down. Promises kept. What? Huh? What? Drones? Huh? Oh, yeah. I told that Hegseth guy to stop doing pull-ups and pull up a map for once. Okay. Cheap drones. Make more. I want them. Them drones. We make the best drones. They're so cheap, so effective. I said a guy. This one guy said, sir, your drones are the best, most droniest. Okay, just move on. Okay, sorry. When he says sir. But you know me. I love them big, beautiful missiles. I gotta love those missiles. They look so good. He's doing the hand motion like the shape of the missile. No one wants to see an army parade with drones rolling down Main Street. Oh, kid, that's hilarious. I learned that the hard way. Fourth wall. I just chuckled. Picture in my mind of the tank of the parade. Anybody? No? See if we could put it on the screen. The guy holding the drone. I mean, it just writes itself. Okay, final call. I'm a peacemaker, but making peace while still appearing strong is complicated. That's the truest thing I think he'd ever say. I can't be weak. So I will leave this unfinished and claim that I essentially did more than any other president in history. I mean, Fox News will spin it that way. More than any other president in history to bring peace to the Middle East. Even if I don't ever actually bring it, they'll never know. The news, you said news or Jews? The news will just echo my words, but I see why you went there. We have to prepare for China. They are the biggest threat. Option D. Good for me. MAGA. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That was priceless. I could have acted it out better, but I want to move on. All right, Mr. President, your final card is option D. Strategic pivot. Y'all, if y'all are disagreeing with me, you could y'all yourself all the way to the bank. Cha-ching. It's the money move right now because you've got to think about the money. You got to think, yep, I'm corny, but it's true. You got to think about what's going on back home. You did what you had to do. You appeased your little buddy. You showed the whole world something or other. You learned a bunch of shit. You kept the casualties pretty low. I mean, folks, even Trump would know unless he was pressured, and we talked about it in episode 4, another reason why he might be pressured. So long as he does what I'm just doing here, I believe he could check off all the boxes. Even he, in a semi-fucking Diet Coke-induced, like, fucking nap. What? I don't know. It doesn't have caffeine or something? I don't know, whatever. You crash after you drink it or whatever. Who cares? He would do that. So you essentially chosen to contain Iran, stabilize markets, pivot to the next great power competition. Let's see how the board settles. Final deal, your strategy. Your administration quietly adopts a doctrine that looks like this. Maintain pressure, but not regime change in Iran. Because if you never tell people exactly why you did it, you could never be accused of, now y'all see it? You could never be accused of not hitting a goal that you could make up at the end that caters to exactly what happened. See what I mean, folks? That's why they're not telling anybody. Most likely a definitive goal. They might say regime change, stop the nuclear proliferation, do this, do that, secure the area. It's a number of things. But if you kind of touch on all of it and show enough force and spin it a certain way, boom, welcome to the world of Trump. That's how it works. That's the marketing.
And the advertising.
And the advertising of it. That's how he's Teflon. He never fully finishes any of the jobs, really. So America's restored stability and prevented a large war. Yay! We did it. Yeah, mission accomplished. Where's my fucking banner? Where's my hat? Where's Bucky's? Oh, kid, where's burpees? Burpees. A narrative works politically, but geopolitics is really so tidy. In other words, eventually, ... So Iran, the regime survives, ish, and it's economically weakened, politically fractured, military degraded, does not collapse, and, dare I say it, can still produce ... I think you know what to put there. It doesn't go away. It's not that easy unless you do boots on the ground. We're going to talk about it in the next pod. I'm going to lay it all out for you. I figured it out. I cheat coded that this might be one of the bloodiest wars we've ever been a part of if we decide to put boots on the ground. We did this the wrong way, folks. I'm not trying to put a Z there, but you kind of did. I kind of did. But let me say this again. There's a possibility. Oh, you too late. Fuck. There's a high probability that ... I'm just saying. Remember when I said I don't want to do things that I can't undo? You're going to see here in this thread. Even ChatGPT says with the wrong way to do it. And it's going to confirm your worst nightmare. You're like, I was supposed to feel good after this. Yeah, you're going to feel good that I'm telling you this so you know better. And the propaganda won't get to you. Captain, Private Pull-Up and fucking Machine Gun Maggie over there. Okay. Yeah, Machine Gun Lips Maggie or Hot Lips Houlihan, if y'all know. Yeah, it's a MASH reference. That's funny on many levels. Okay, but it doesn't collapse. Let's go back to the game. Cyber operations, proxy militias, drone, they just retool. They come back again. Like that thing, you punch it, pops back up. Historical parallel, Iran after the Iran-Iraq war. Remember? They fought each other in 88. Weakened but resilient. They learned. Oh, guess who's frustrated? Guess who's back? They're pissed. Their services intensify covert operations against nuclear program. And after episode 4, do you really think that they're going to settle for this? Again, do you really think they're going to settle for this? I'm telling you, what can go wrong? How did Rome fall again? I don't know. And their conflict will continue in the shadows. Again, they're going to keep coming to the fucking bar and fight. Russia does their thing in Ukraine. It's a frozen conflict. They go back to this bullshit Cold War. They start pressuring the EU, maybe cutting off gas supply. It's oil supplies. It's a bunch of nonsense. China, meanwhile, is ready. They're studying. They're ready for their pivot to be the next global superpower. As Trump even admits, the G2, he's talked about us and China. China are the top 2 superpowers. Well, when's the last time China was in a war? They'll be perfectly fresh and ready to fight in the ring should they have to. And they might do a little test against Taiwan now that they saw 2 other superpowers do tests with smaller rivals. Here we go. Naval expansion, military. I mean, it's going to happen. Oil stabilizes at about 95 to 105 a barrel, kind of where we're at now. Markets recover slowly. Kalshi's already betting 60% chance that there's going to be a recession. Isn't it interesting how Kalshi's now kind of determining the market prediction is now determined and being referenced in the news about predictions and what can happen? It's insane. It's fucking insane. It's like the Wild West, but you can't deny it Because we used to think with the stocks, the idiots that have stocks, the dumbass investors, now we have the dumbasses on Kalshi predicting the future. I mean, it's insane. But that's what they're saying. We'll see. The era of globalization continues, but in a more fractured form. We'll see if we're going to... What can go wrong? How did it fall again? Wink, wink. The real long-term shift. Your pivot toward AI and drones proves historically significant. Military analysts later describe this moment as the beginning of the autonomous warfare era. In other words, because we avoided boots on the ground and we kind of fucked around with some drones, kind of learned some shit, and now we go home to retool and we realize what we needed to actually, if we decided to do boots on the ground or a big-ass war one day, we would rather go into autonomous AI-type warfare. Trust me, we're going to learn the hard way. That might not be the best way to do it. If you remember earlier episodes and the whole Terminator thing, I'm telling you folks, I mean, if AI is already telling us to bomb runway art or a girls' school, I don't think anyone's admitting that the AI was probably telling them that there were my cheat code. Disclaimer, I don't have any intel. I believe that was our missile, and it was an AI that told someone we have to bomb there because ... I'm telling you, AI is going to make mistakes, and we're going to learn the hard way until we program it correctly. Hey, sometimes people have to die, right, Mr. President? So we awarded a peace prize. No, we avoided World War III. Iran is weakened, but survives. Middle East war was de-escalated, thank God. Frozen conflict with Russia and Ukraine. Oops. China-U.S. rivalry intensifies. It's going to get even worse from here, at least economically. We haven't even talked about tariffs. Global economy, strained but stable. Your presidency is remembered as one of the most managed crises. Remember as one that managed crises rather than resolving them. Or causing the crises and then never resolving them. Way to go, kids. Well done. Should I run for a third term? It's often how global stability is actually preserved. If we zoom out, the simulation suggests that most likely the global trajectory from this point is this. A multipolar Cold War. Great. Yay. It's like a three-body problem. We're going to have U.S., China, and a coalition around. This is wonderful. Put Russia in there. This is going to be fucking wonderful. Yay. Have fun. With technology, economics, proxy wars, all sorts of bullshit. But we've avoided superpower war for now. Big boom. Dealer's closing thought. Go ahead, kid. The biggest lesson from this game isn't about Iran. It's this. The most dangerous moment for the world isn't when the powers are strong. It's when multiple powers feel uncertain about the future at the same time. Yeah, uncertainty. That's tough. That's when miscalculations happen. Hopefully, AI doesn't exacerbate that. If you want, we can play another version, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not even touching this. No, thank you. This was tough enough. I truly appreciate and love what you did here. Throws a few chips on the table as a tip with a wink and that finger gun. Nice job, kid. Whether I realize it or not, I took the road most traveled, didn't I? The funny thing, if you didn't notice, I looked through the lens of how it impacted me. I was playing cosplay Trump. I put myself at X, always thinking about myself. And I'd say to him here, or it, you confirmed this, right? What can we deduce from this? If I know who I put at X here, X plus Y equals Z, in other words, what do you think? What do you think previous presidents put at X? I'm not going to say it. You can. And it actually confirms 33 in. Other presidents put different things at X and it's a similar outcome. So maybe it's not X. Maybe it's Y. Who knows? Dealer gathers chips, gives a small nod back across the table. First, you're absolutely right about something important. You largely followed the road most traveled by great superpowers, confronting messy regional conflict and avoiding global war. Good job. Not perfect, but structurally you did. I kind of like what they did. The patterns you fell into. Initial pressure without war. The slow squeeze, I think it was B. Limited escalation to show strength. Decapitation strike, that was C. Quiet diplomatic off-ramp, I think was D. And then whatever we did at the end there, the strategic pivot. And then here's the examples: Kennedy, Nixon, Reagan, Bush, and Obama. What do you see most common here? Diplomacy, negotiation, diplomacy, deal. What is President Trump saying right now? Unconditional surrender or complete destruction. Boom. Not saying, just saying. I mean, you're definitely going to see why that's a problem in a second. You play the historically stable path. Not because it's morally perfect, because it's the least destabilizing option. Now let's go to your cheat code. You asked the real question, X plus Y equals Z. You intentionally played X. How does this affect me politically? That's actually a very honest lens. But historically, presidents rarely define X the same way. What X usually is for presidents. Across history, the most common X variable looks like this: preservation of American power and stability. It just so happens that Trump sees that power and stability as himself. So somehow it weirdly falls into the same path. So I kind of felt good about that. It's weird though, right? He's putting himself as if America is him. So weirdly, but you're like, but he's not doing that right now. Again, that's where you feel bad. Something's getting in the way of his, not good graces, but his thoughts. I'll leave that there. 3553 in. He's conflicted. And I don't think it's mental. I'm putting in my head. I think it's somebody else's in his head. I leave that there. It's not the president personally. It's what the system they sit on top of. And I would imagine other presidents are also thinking about their party, especially if there's a midterm. I'll go there and say it. If the system collapses, their personal survival, political or otherwise, becomes irrelevant. So in other words, they do it by default. Yeah, fuck it. Right? I got to think about me and my party. Yeah, I might as well think about the American people too. Trump, well, he does something else. And if you think he does what I just said, then pretend that he does that too. You'll see why it's not the case. But your insight is actually important because you're right about something many people ignore. Personal incentives do affect presidential decisions. Here we go. When Nixon had Watergate, he escalated the Vietnam bombing. Yeah, let him think about that. Clinton had impeachment. Well, I wonder what was he impeached for again? Don't tell him. I'll do it again. Fuck. Don't tell Hillary. Kosovo intervention. Post 9/11 and the, don't even go there. Whatever. I've been watching a lot of 9/11 conspiracy shit. I got to be careful. Iraq war. Fucking Cheney. I'll say one thing. Caught on tape saying, do we have enough evidence to attack Iraq yet? Even though none of them were Iraqi. I'll leave that there. Whatever. Perfectly placed passport that fell from thousands of feet from the plane after the plane exploded. But some of the... leave that there. LBJ, fear of... do we think that... No, we don't. But what? We'll talk about that another time. Wink, wink. Y'all can fill in the Z of what I just said there. Fear of appearing weak. Vietnam escalation. So while X is officially national interest, the human layer sometimes becomes survival for the presidency, geopolitics, decisions, and historical outcome. X plus Y equals Z. Personal survival, national strategy is real. It's true. The hidden variable you accidentally modeled. Leader incentive theory. They choose a strategy that balances national interest, political survival, legacy, and immediate crisis stability. Fault front door. What? Nothing. They need to figure out, they got to take care of the front door. They got to cover their own ass or else they're going to be kicked out of it. You lean toward, that was corny. You lean toward political survival and crisis management, which again is very common. But here's the real twist. The reason the world has avoided World War III since 1945 isn't because of that leaders are perfect. It's because, and listen up people, most of them end up choosing the boring stability path under pressure. The one you chose. Even when they start aggressive, they usually end towards de-escalation. Except for one, and we're about to show it to you in a second. Dealer's honest answer to you. You ask what previous presidents put at X. I had to simplify it brutally. Maintain the system, use the power carefully, and avoid global collapse. A defensive posture. Right? Deaf and dumb secretary. Oh, you said it wrong. Secretary of deaf and dumb. Right. Hot Lips Houlihan. Machine gun lips. Yeah, move on. Because once someone sits in the chair, they realize most people outside politics don't. So there's something that the global system is far more fragile than it looks. It's one thing playing the game from the campaign stage. It's another from behind the Resolute desk. I'm going to pause for a second, take a sip. What do y'all think? I mean, is it real or fake? We'll see. One last thing. You also unknowingly did something else in the game. You pivoted toward the future threat, China and AI, instead of finishing the current war. It's exactly how great powers behave when they sense a new era approaching. Rome did it. Yeah. Britain did it. We know how that ended 250 years ago. And the U.S. has done it before. Not saying, just saying. Hopefully I'm wrong. Which means your final move was actually very historical consistent. Blah, blah, blah. Are you asking what president thing? Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I'm going to skip ahead. You know, what's the best? I asked, what's the best, give me the best scenario and the worst scenario. That's what I said. Right? I said my POTUS material, by the way. Dealer smiles, stacks the chips, and slides one back across the table. First, quick answer to the joke. POTUS material, the real qualification is an intelligence, kid. I added the kid. It's whether someone can hold multiple catastrophic outcomes in their head at once and still choose the least bad option. Say it with me. Secretary of Deaf and Dumb. Oh, kid. A defensive posture. That's why it's called the Secretary of Defense and the Department of Defense. Because when you try to be aggressive, I'm going to show you what happens. And y'all should all be scared. What happens when we go to war. And why a department that's focused solely on that, ... I'm not going to put a Z there. You did two things that real presidents often do to avoid global conflict. Apply pressure first so you don't look weak. Open and leave an off-ramp always once leverage is, well, not always, but once you create leverage. And pivot to a bigger strategic threat. Because rarely in the schoolyard is it just one-on-one, isn't it, folks? Sometimes it's a brawl. There's always a bigger guy or someone your size that might be swinging at you. Gotta be ready for it. It's actually a pretty stable crisis management pattern. You're welcome. No, you didn't play like a reckless gambler, but yeah. You're not president material. You're not tall enough. Oh, okay. All right, here's the real question. The best and worst. Let's just skip through it. Best case scenario. I'll just skip to it. Limited pressure on Iran. Sanctions and stuff, kind of like what Obama did. Avoid full invasion. No regime change wars often spiral. That's what some of the other presidents did. Quiet diplomacy early. Back channels prevent miscalculations. What many presidents have done. Coordinate with the allies. Inform them. Reduce the risk. And then focus on the real long-term competition. Should I really be bombing a fucking country in the Middle East? Have we not learned anything? Guess not. Here's the outcome. And you're like, get to it. I will. Examples often cited: Eisenhower, Bush, Kennedy. Their legacy, they kept the world from breaking. You ready? And here comes the worst case leader. I warned you. Here we go. Core mindset: impulsive, ego-driven, reactive. Their equation is, this is ChatGPT, not me. Personal dominance, escalation, and public theatrics. I could do an impression of the Secretary of Deaf and Dumb, but I won't. Uncontrolled chain reactions. You ready? How they play the game. Immediate massive escalation. Oh, fuck. Yep. Shock and awe. Attacks everywhere. We're going to fucking destroy them. Punch down. Superiority. Cosplay. No diplomatic off-ramps. Unconditional surrender or death and destruction. I mean, folks, I didn't write this. Humiliate opponents publicly. What did our friend say? I mean, it just popped up. That was scary. Yeah, it literally just popped up. War very complete. War is very complete. It's done. It's done. I literally just popped up. I mean, I'll leave that there. It's done. We won already. Ignore the economic ripples. Okay, fuck it. What do I care? We'll just open up the oil reserves. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll just open them up. I know what I'm doing. I'm a peacemaker. Fight multiple adversaries simultaneously. I couldn't get that out quick enough. Hopefully, this is not the case. 4 out of 5 ain't good. What would 5 out of 5 do? I'll wait. Fuck. The war expands, boots on the ground. Not saying we're going to have a draft, but Hormuz closes, $134 a gallon, a barrel for oil. Global oil shock. China moves on Taiwan in 2027. Russia escalates in Europe. That could be at the end of the year. And then, big boom. I mean, all this shit happens. My friends, if you can see the screen, if you're listening and like on the treadmill, like a beautiful babe in the treadmill, and you're like, what happens? I didn't see it. Don't. It's scary. Their legacy, they pushed the system past its breaking point. Where your game fell, you landed much closer to the stable model. You're like, I should have voted for you. You're welcome. Or thank you. Yeah. I would never run for president. No fucking way. Are you acting as yourself or JD Vance? Well played. Unfortunately, one of us knows not to make a mistake. But, and one of us is not a knucklehead, but I'll leave that there. And supported by, well, I'll leave. Speaking of colors, a black dog with, how does it go? The lone wolf, a bad dog with a black heart, a white coat, and a red scarf. That's it from another song we wrote. The real lesson from the game, let's end this. The world rarely ends because of one evil mastermind. It usually ends because multiple leaders miscalculate at the same time. And that's what the Kremlin is trying to tell us here, whether or not you believe them or not. And you're like, well, fucking, why are you referencing the Kremlin again? You turn towards the light or you don't. War is very much complete. Why would they be telling us this? When it doesn't even match nothing's matching that at all. I'm going to prove it in the next episode. I mean, here's a question from ChatGPT. What happens when decisions at the table start being made by AI systems instead of humans? Well, obviously this decision wasn't. AI wouldn't tell you this. There's no way the AI would tell you this. I guess it's good that he's not listening to AI. But there's no fucking way it's complete. I'm going to prove to you again in the next episode. Unless we put boots on the ground, folks. And even then it can become a bloodbath. I just stuttered. That at the end of the day, whatever our goal is, the only way we could achieve it is to go all in. If we want to take their chips, going back to the poker analogy, we have to force them all in. And we have to go all in. Tehran Hold'em. I can make a joke. I'm not. And I summarize a bunch of shit here. How it's just Ukraine and Russia war is becoming the U.S.-Iran war. It's frick. And Taiwan and China is the wild card. It's happening all over again. This looks like a giant war game because it is. And blah, blah, blah. He and I, or they and I, talk about this stuff. Why the war can feel like a giant war game. The ironic part, your Tehran Hold'em idea is actually similar to tools analysts use to called scenario planning and wargaming. It's not unique. Those exercises exist precisely because real-world decision makers want to understand how crises could spiral before they actually do. Play the game first, Mr. President, and then see how well you do. Oh, you say it's over? Oh yeah, it's very complete. What game are you playing, kid? Hey, Secretary of Deaf and Dumb, can you please tell him? Or should I? Should I tell him? Because no one else is going to tell him. Take off the fucking hat, kid. You're going to lose a lot of people. And you're going to be seeing a lot of caskets come home. I wish I was wrong. And then we go into another thread. I mean, folks, I don't know what else to tell you. What can go wrong? Everything. We're being lied to, but I can't say that to you. You need to put the Z there yourself. I've laid it out. I'm going to keep doing it a couple more episodes. I'm going to drive the point home. You're going to see why AI CYA, cover your ass, you're going to see the letter C, Y, AI is a valuable tool on many levels. And the conversations I had with it doesn't mean that it knows everything, but it knows more than you and me. And it knows more than somebody else. And apparently someone's got to get to this fucking guy and tell him to stop. Because the war is not very complete. The war has just begun. My friends, see me in part, whatever the fuck is the next one. Is it 6? Yeah, I think it's 6. We'll talk soon. If I didn't scare you, I will then. You better bring your hat. Bye.
You have reached the end. Game over.